New here at noon, the special prosecutor in the Crystal Rogers case wants to try all three defendants together. Shane Young filed a motion today asking to consolidate the cases for Brooks Houck, Joseph Lawson, and Steve Lawson. Houck is charged with complicity to murder and complicity to tampering with physical evidence. The Lawsons are charged with conspiracy to murder and complicity to tampering with physical evidence. In the motion, Young accuses the men of working together to kill Crystal Rogers and then disposing of evidence to conceal it. Young plans to present the motion during a hearing March 21st when Houck and the Lawsons are all expected back in court. Well, Louisville police are investigating after 3 pedestrian deaths in the last 24 hours. 2 of those pedestrians were struck and killed this morning. One was hit on the Clark Memorial Bridge and the other on I-64 near the I-65 ramp. Now, the first one happened on the Clark Memorial Bridge around 6:20 this morning. Investigators say they believe an elderly woman was walking in the roadway on the bridge when she was hit by a car. She was pronounced dead at the scene. That did cause some traffic delays where one lane was open while officials cleared the scene. Now all lanes are back open. Well, the next one happened around 7 this morning when a man was hit on I-64 East at I-65. Police say he was in the roadway of traffic when he was struck by a vehicle. He was pronounced dead on the scene. The ramps from I-64 East to I-65 North were closed, but it's now all clear also. Authorities say all parties involved in both crashes did remain at the scene. The LMPD traffic unit is investigating both of those collisions. And Metro Police are also investigating after an off-duty officer hit and killed another pedestrian. LMPD says the officer was in an unmarked police car when they hit someone at Bank Street and 24th around 8 last night. We're also told that pedestrian was not in the crosswalk. They were taken to the hospital where they later died. LMPD's traffic unit is also investigating that case. Right now, LMPD is looking for the driver who left the scene after hitting a child. Metro Police say it happened around 8 last night in the Jacobs neighborhood. They say that child was hit at Strader and Powell Avenues, about a half mile from Wyandotte Park. The child was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. If you know anything about that case, you are urged to call the LMPD tip line, that number 574 LMPD. Convicted murderer Bryce Rhodes will spend life in prison without parole. The judge signed off on that jury recommended sentence yesterday, nearly 7 years after he was first arrested. Rhodes was found guilty of murder in the 2016 death of Christopher Jones, Larry Ordway, and Maurice Gordon. While family members read their impact statements, Rhodes showed no emotion in court. Afterward, family members told us they are happy to finally see justice.
And so now he gets to go to the prison system, structured. He can't drive with the windows down. He can't kiss women. He can't eat Indi's chicken. He can't do none of that. He's going to be structured, and I hope he lives a long life so he can wake up in a long life, in a structured life, with somebody telling him when he has to go to the bathroom.
The judge in the case agreed with the jury's recommended sentence and said this case stood out as one of the most tragic that she's ever seen. New here at noon, the Senate Judiciary Committee in Frankfort has passed House Bill 5, also known as the Safer Kentucky Act. Supporters say it helps crime, but opponents have pushed back against aspects of the bill. It includes several provisions like strengthening crime penalties, creating a 3-strike penalty for violent repeat felons, and banning street encampments in public areas. Today, several people spoke against and for the bill before the Senate Judiciary Committee.
In Kentucky, we're trying to do both treatment and put violent people away from a long time.
Even if we did have the correct data for Kentucky, we cannot arrest our way out of poverty and into a solution that has no positive resolve. Yes, the House majority is in favor of this bill. However, I am quite sure that the majority of Kentuckians are not.
The bill already passed the House with a 79-22 vote back in January. It now heads to the Senate for a vote. Today is Kentucky Animal Action Day in Frankfort, where advocates plan to make their voices heard on behalf of animals at the Capitol. And that includes young people from right here in Louisville. WHAS 11's Jim Stratman talked with advocates and students before they headed to Frankfort.
Students at Assumption High School are standing up for a cause near and dear to their hearts.
Both of our dogs are rescues, my 2 dogs and her dog. So we connect with this on a personal level and really want to make sure that no other dog gets harmed.
Catherine Amlung and Caitlin Vitrano are both juniors at Assumption. They were chosen to speak at the state capitol for Animal Action Day, which is dedicated to advocating for animal rights legislation in Kentucky.
I often say that a good relationship with your legislator is the most important thing you can do for animals, because they are elected by us, they represent us, but they can only properly represent you if they know what's important to you.
What's important to these girls is Penny, the dog adopted by one of their teachers, Lindsay Peets. Penny was thrown out of a moving car in 2020, breaking 3 of her 4 legs, shattering her pelvis, and ultimately leading to an amputation.
It's amazing how such traumatic events can happen to her, but she's such a happy dog, and she definitely helps everyone here at Assumption with all kinds of different needs.
Penny was taken in by the Arrow Fund, an organization who helps abused animals recover and find new homes. The fund's executive director, Tom Ham, says that Animal Action Day gives them a platform to connect directly with lawmakers.
The representatives and all the people up in Frankfort, they just see numbers. So the more numbers you can have up there, the more you can talk to your representatives. They work for you, so remember that. They need to talk to you.
She can't speak for herself and let us know what they need and what they want, and so we have to do that for them. And going to Frankfort is a great way to show up and let our voices be heard and really advocate for the voiceless.
Reporting in Louisville, Jim Stratman, WHAS11, on your side.
Animal Action Day officials say they are pushing 2 bills this session. One is about adding an animal welfare member to the Animal Control Advisory Board to push for spay and neutering funding. The second would help Kentucky counties get some money back from having to impound animals. Well, Indiana State Police served another search warrant at Jamie and Misty Knowles' house yesterday afternoon in Jeffersonville. Troopers seized a riding lawnmower, some men's suits, and more. And Focus reporter Travis Breeze was there as it all unfolded.
Indiana State Police were back at Jamie and Misty Knowles' main residence in Jeffersonville on Wednesday. This is the first address that they publicly searched in August, and on Wednesday they were looking for men's clothing. Police picking through Jamie Knowles' garage on Wednesday. The search warrant for the home on Old Tay Bridge said they were looking for men's clothing purchases and receipts from Tom James Company, a clothing company which has a location in Jeffersontown, Kentucky. We saw police carrying a handful of suit jackets before placing them in the back of a car. If you look inside, it looks like the car is full of navy blue suit bags. Court documents say Knowles spent $184,000 at Tom James between 2019 and 2023 using fire department credit cards. Additionally, there was a $3,000 purchase that arrived at his house on Wednesday. Police also seized an orange riding lawnmower, and we saw a white box truck drive away, but it's unclear what was inside. Knoll, his wife, and daughter are accused of making over $3.5 million in personal purchases. In Jeffersonville, Travis Breeze, WHAS 11 on your side.
State police also released a new itemized list of charges the Knoll family allegedly made using New Chapel EMS credit cards back to 2018, including $340,000 on travel and timeshares and $194,000 on education and tuition.
When she was first born, we did not know she was having seizures. No one would have known, not even her doctors.
Well, she's one of thousands of kids in Kentucky who rely on the newest technology to track harmful seizures and was one of the first patients to benefit from Norton Children's new epilepsy monitoring unit. It ties to the WHAS Crusade for Children and the firefighter who made national headlines after that 2nd Street Bridge rescue. Well, it's a story you will only see right here tonight on WHAS 11 during our 4 and 5 p.m. newscasts.